name is Sheikh Alhaji Dantata
Hey.
from Edujemfi. One, yeah,
I was trying to tell one man to sit down before I realized it was just. Don't miss that before I realized Pepe in my eye.
Oh,
yes. I think that we should cut our coats according to our size. Some of our people are overdoing stuff and it's affecting other people.
what's up there, people? What's up, Ghana? What's up, party people? What's up, Afro Culture family? Welcome to the Wedding Podcast right here in the studios of Afro Culture. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here tonight to have fun. And of course, Charlie, make ourselves happy. There's this song that I've been meaning to sing for some time now. And the whole of today, right? This song, they leave from my head inside rent free, right? And because of the kind of guest I have, I think I'd want to sing a line or two. Anache dunia mamuduka don misada kamaida duka naka. Oh,
By Trigmatic.
my guest knows the song already. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're live on all social media platforms, X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. You can find us, Wedding Podcast on all social media platforms. We're also being sponsored by Celebrity Phones right here in Accra. If you're looking for anything that has to do with electronics, gadgets, just link up with Celebrity Phones. We have their numbers scrolling down the screen also. Back into the studio, I'd like to say a very big shout out to my production team, executive, and all the camera guys. One of my camera guys, Cisco, he get broken heart quite recently. We just the hope say it be okay. Right? Maybe if I'm not sure, if you move the camera, make it the shoot Cisco, the guy get broken heart. But I hope he'll be able to do the job for us right here in the studio. Well, my guest, right? So this beautiful lady, should I say some 7 years ago or more, interviewed me. She gave me my first professional interview on TV. She was a big thing then. She was all over social media, all on our screens. She was a screen goddess. She's still a screen goddess. She's doing her thing, right? One I admire very much. And it's actually a pleasure to host her in the studio. Years ago, she was the one interviewing me. But today, she's on my set. We are going to delve into what transpires or what happens in the Muslim community as far as weddings are concerned. So my guest, ladies and gentlemen, is the very affable, the most beautiful, Hajia Amaria, the most richest woman in our Zungu community.
Amen.
Right? Pfizer from FNF TV. Hello there.
Hello, my brother. I've missed you. It's been a long time.
I miss you, past miss.
You look good.
Thank you. You also
I
looking
love
good.
this. I love this. No. Abaka Nema.
Oh, na nimanki.
Kaisho.
No, nimanki. Around this time, like King call Kiche Mini, oh Charlie, Edujemfi, Akwe one Muslim wedding na so Kazuka MC Mini. Amayazubanji Batunki.
You know, it's all part of Kinsenya. I'm busy, motherhood, but don't worry, course inshallah.
How's the baby doing?
She's doing great,
She's doing great, right?
Motherhood is good.
Who does she look like? You or
me?
I knew you were going to say that, right? I knew you were going to say that. Ama Yajikin.
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing perfect. Alhamdulillah.
Allah. Right. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
I can't wait for us to start, right? Delve into studio. But even before we do that, what happened to FNF?
Okay, so like you know already, Alhamdulillah, I got pregnant. I'm married, so I got pregnant and baby came in, so I had to pause for some time.
Wow.
But very soon we'll come back. Since you are here,
you should.
We
miss FNF. Honestly speaking, it actually pooped me out. Wow. And I'm not the only one. There are lots of people who also benefited or maybe had that experience as well. So we pray that FNF bounces back.
Why not? I'm thinking of maybe Afro culture and me coming.
We don't mind.
We can cook something. Who knows?
We don't mind. But I'm not part of the Afro culture team.
Oh, okay.
Because then go few go misbehave. Then they go call me. So me I be solo.
Okay.
So me I no be Afro culture. I be Sheikh.
Okay.
Right. Great, ladies and gentlemen. For the purpose of this interview, my name is Sheikh Alhaji then Tata,
Hey.
Troy, Edu Jemfi, Uda.
One.
One. Yeah, I kill. So let's talk about FNF. How
Okay.
did it start?
So I did my service at the Ghana Post and Harbor Authority.
Okay.
I can't really remember the year, but after my service, they didn't retain me, even though I was the best worker during that time. And before that, when I was in GIJ, Ghana Institute of Journalism, I used to go to people's wedding. I loved everything about weddings. The fact that you see lace, you see makeup, you see the one person randomly becomes a princess for a day.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants, everybody's doing for her, you know. That whole thing, I like the vibe. So anytime maybe we go for events and come back, oh me, already I'm a talkative. I will talk about everything from beginning to end. So when after my service, I didn't no, they didn't want to retain me.
Okay.
I was like, okay, why not start something? It was difficult for my dad. Hey, I've spent a lot of money on you.
Yeah.
Only for you, not even, you know, sometimes even the job, no crano. It depends on the job you even come and tell the person that you want to do.
Yeah.
He's one person that every morning is listening to Kwame Sefakai. Like, you know,
Yeah.
then he wants to see me or hear me on radio or see me on TV. Fine. Then I'll come back that I'm going to report to post wedding. Like, it wasn't adding up.
Yeah.
The beginning wasn't easy. You go to people's wedding, they sack you because we didn't really, at that point, we didn't really
Yeah,
understand. Yes.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Uzaku Nime content.
Yes.
Wow.
You want to cover, there've been a lot of instances. I don't want to even go there.
Yeah.
But there've been a lot of instances that you go to cover people's wedding. Not that was then. People were not really like that, you know, because of the fact that we had
They're
this
not receptive.
we had this way of thinking that maybe you're
Yeah.
not getting married, people's eyes will come on you,
Yeah.
there will be a lot of, you know, so it wasn't easy. But I got to a time they accepted the content and I was all over.
Wow, great. You just spoke about how you started and some of the challenges, right?
Yeah.
Let me put you on the spot. What was that one particular instance that made you feel like, you know, let me give up?
Okay, so there was an instance. I don't want to really
No,
mention the
I want you
personality.
to.
So the person
Yeah.
was in power,
Yeah.
and that time there was this decor woman called Smiles Events.
Okay.
She's I don't see anymore.
Yeah.
So she told me about the wedding because I
Okay.
wanted luxurious wedding for my, you know, for
Okay.
the content. Because that's what people want to see. Someone who said that
Mhm.
Paul wants to see the rich on
Yeah.
TV, that kind of thing. So when she told me I was a political person, you know, I was interested. So she
Okay.
invited us and I spoke with the groom and he
Okay.
accepted I should come. And so I came, I did my interview, even interviewed that person, that political figure.
Okay.
And I went home. I took the content to the TV station. After that time, I was airing on Metro TV.
Okay.
And the night before the thing goes on air, she calls me and tells me she doesn't want to see that the content on TV.
Wow.
Otherwise, she will sue me. Who do I know at that time? My daddy is just a generator seller.
Yazaki Chemini, who do you know? Akwe ya Razongo, I do your back. I can soruni.
And that night, I didn't know what to do because they've already shared, and it was being shown on Sunday weekend. You know, we don't have production on Sunday.
Yeah.
I made calls; they were not there. Who is going to?
And everything is like done and
It was
dusted.
done, and there was nothing. And the person keeps repeating, "If it goes on air, we are meeting our court." Meanwhile, I asked for permission before, you know, coming there.
Yeah.
So it was hard, and the thing went on air. And that political figure wanted to meet me. We were supposed to sign some document. That whole thing was going to court. And it wasn't easy. I had to talk to, my daddy had to call some people. They had to come in, beg the person before I was free. And so it was very tough for me.
Wow.
Because that was the first season.
Wow.
That was the very first. I think it was episode 4 or 5.
Wow.
And it wasn't easy for me at all.
Wow.
I think I even gave up.
Wow.
I gave up. I didn't shoot. I repeated the 1 and 2 for some time before I started again.
Wow.
Because it wasn't easy.
Do you think by then we didn't really understand what this, really meant?
The program is family and friends.
Yeah.
So my main motive was the family and friends that comes to support. Even though looking at the dress up and everything was part of the whole content, I wasn't looking at the part that I want to let people see that aspect and then let eyebrow come on you so that at the end of the day, maybe I don't know how to put this whole
I
thing,
get
but
you.
I had my reasons
Wow.
and I explained it to you before coming there. So why do you make it a big deal?
Yeah.
So I feel like at that time people didn't really understand what I wanted to do.
What's that one memorable event you captured that you feel like, Charlie, this was a big thing for me?
There was a Nigerian wedding. It took place at World Trade Center where
Okay.
Nigerians, they understood everything. That was the first people that paid me for what I was doing.
Wow.
They called me and it was happening at the way. They told me, they gave me every detail. And after everything, when I started the money, you know, are people.
Yeah.
So after I did my interview, they handed me an envelope. And I was like, okay, so this thing can be good. And ever since, when I showed their content to, they were so happy.
Wow.
The bride called me again, sent me some stuff. She went to the States, sent me some stuff.
Wow.
So to date, it's one of my favorite wedding for FNF because they did me good.
Wow. It's actually, like it's nice hearing some of these stories, and these days, I think when you started, there was nothing like wedding blogging and some of the, but these days there are bloggers all over, right? And then they even capture, they don't ask for permission, but they post. So I think now, people are beginning to understand what you were doing then.
And Edwin, if let me not cut you, there's this woman that really supported me.
Great.
Auntie Afi Jandel.
Oh, Auntie Afi Moro.
Yes.
Charlie, shouts to Jandel, man. Auntie Afi Moro, man.
I would say she's my godmother.
Wow.
At a point, there was a lot of instance I actually wanted to give up.
Yeah.
So there was a time I went to cover a wedding. That was Giovanni's wedding.
Oh, okay.
So she invited me over and I captured Giovanni's wedding. It was one wedding that people also loved. And she invited me to her office and told me that any challenge I have, she's ready to support me. And to date, she's been very supportive. Wow. And so, Auntie Afi, wherever you are, thank you very much.
Charlie,
I'm grateful.
God bless you, Auntie Afi.
She gave me most of my content.
Wow.
Most of my content.
Wow.
Yes.
Which of the celebrities would you say you really enjoyed capturing their moment?
I think A+'s wedding. Nana Mama Brown she took the mic at a point.
Okay.
She sang. She was so bubbly. She made the event very nice. There was a lot to eat, a lot to drink. Yes, I think A+'s wedding was one wedding I really had fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Solid. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still here in the studios with Pfizer from FNF, right?
Yeah.
Now that we're done with FNF, I want us to talk about, the modern day trends of, Muslim weddings.
Yeah.
Where me and you are coming from there, Charlie, representing Mamobi, for life. Yeah, Mamobi for life, right? I want us to talk about how it is now. In the past, ansamu wani wasa woje se wi wasa na shoko weje gida. Ama yanzu akwai plage, akwai luxury. Naji kama yanzu akwai kuri chicken zongo.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to show off and not, but I don't think so. I think we are evolving.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how weddings were like in the, our area before even how things are now. Okay,
so the thing is, now I'm into planning and coordination. Yeah. Okay. So before I even started this, I realized that how we do our events, even though it's beautiful, I have Islamically, we want to look at the way we have to marry. We don't even need sound.
Of these things,
We don't need, because with Islam, when you pay the sadaki, that is it. We can call your husband and wife. Yes. But now, people have their culture. There are even certain cultures that even the bride has to buy bed for I think the Zamarama people, they have to buy bed for the groom, wardrobe, and some other things before.
And which one is the Dagomba one that the sister of the groom will come and ask for money before they leave the groom?
So every culture have their way of doing their things. But the normal one we know is the 3-day thing. So we have the Friday, which is the henna party. So you have your friends come around, they sing around, and then they apply henna on your body. And then in the evening, we call our DJ, our local DJ, come and play. We just block. If we don't have space, if we don't have space in the house, we block the road. We play around. The bride dresses like 3 times.
The road.
Yeah, that day the road become ours, and everybody understands. Because we live in the neighborhood, and everybody even knows.
Yeah, you live in your own kingdom. So if you block road,
we understood, and everybody understands. When you're driving, you get they block the road. Okay, you just think. And the Saturday we have, so the Friday is more of like girls.
Okay.
The Saturday is more like the elderly people.
Mhm.
They come around and game. And so we have this yayi that we show cloth,
Yeah.
and everybody sews some, and then we play the same songs, we dance around. And then the Sunday in the morning, we have the Doran Aure, that's the
Yeah.
blessing proper. So that's where the groom will bring the sadaki, and then we have witnesses. Even those days, the bride is not supposed to be, not that um you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You just need two witnesses from the bride side and from the groom side. If it's car the groom wants to give, if it's money, whatever you want to give, you give. And if the bride, if there are people accepted, that's it. So
Okay.
we have the two, and that is the marriage. That's the main
That's the
marriage.
main thing.
And mind you, that particular ceremony could be done on any day,
Any day.
either Monday, Tuesday. But we have decided, because people go to work, decide to do the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that has been the norm till date. But recently, we've gone to school. We make friends.
Mhm.
And so there have been instances that you invite friends to your wedding.
Yeah.
And because they don't know one auntie, even water they won't get. I've gone to an event before, a friend's wedding, and she invited her boss.
Okay.
And when they came, because she was the bride, she didn't get time. You know, you can't get time to attend to them.
Yeah.
And I think she didn't also tell any family member to attend to them. So they didn't even get water.
Wow.
Meanwhile, they brought envelope, they brought gifts.
Wow.
So when I started FNF, most of my wedding, you know, when you want to produce content, you start from the dress up, all of those things. When you're watching Ashika Fudu for 1 hour, you get tired.
Yeah.
You dance, go.
Charlie King
That
Gaji.
is not content. But content is where you start from the dress up, you go to maybe a hotel. So the storyline is there.
Yeah.
So I realized that with us, even some of our weddings, you can't even watch it. It becomes boring.
Yeah.
So I had people coming to me that, no, you don't show most of the Muslim weddings. Why? And I told them that, because the content is not enough. Even though we have lots of things happening,
Yeah.
the style, but it's the same usual Friday, we dance, she changes, like there's no, but if you can make it a bit. So I had people coming to me to plan their events for them. And then it started from there. And then we have the reception coming in where people would want to also do something like what you see.
Yeah.
We book a venue. We are not blocking the streets anymore.
Yeah.
We book a venue. We have a caterer, not Auntie Memuna cooking. Auntie Memuna should also dress up and come and enjoy the event.
About professional.
Yes. So everybody is served equally. And the bosses are able to enjoy the event as well. You get me?
Yeah.
So basically that's it.
Yeah. But we've also noticed with the trends that in the past when they were doing the aure and all that,
Yes.
they would just, their gilly and
Yes.
some,
Yes.
outfits, and then they are done. But these days they are also putting on the wedding gowns.
Yes.
With the veils and all
Yeah.
that. Is it allowed in Islam?
You just have to be decent with what you wear.
Okay.
It's just that, we were used to the lace.
Yeah.
And definitely you have to wear the lace. It's not like it's compulsory.
Okay.
But if you don't wear the lace, it takes away something. It's not like Islamically, that is it. But if you don't wear the lace, it doesn't really make it look some way. So you realize that even if we are doing the reception, on Friday, we'll still wear the traditional way. And on Sunday, we'll still wear the traditional way. Because that is how
that's how it has always been.
Yes. So you can't take it out. That one day, yes.
With where you started talking about where we are now, are you impressed with what our people, in the Muslim community are doing now? Are you really impressed?
50-50. Because one is, we normally do the reception before the ceremony. So if the ceremony is taking place on Sunday, we do our party on Saturday.
Okay.
And it's Islamically, that's no good because you're not married yet. So why come together, dance with it? But it looks normal. But Islamically, no. It's not supposed to be like that. You get me? So I have a problem with that. Because if you get married with her and you have your party, fine.
Okay.
But you can't also blame them because on Sunday, if you want to do the party on Sunday, the crowd that will come, you can't take anybody out. Because on Sunday is the main event.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be part of the event. And with us, our wedding it's not between you and me.
Yeah.
You realize that you've hosted the Muslim wedding before. They go like, "Aure na muni, aure mumuke da aure." It's between two families.
Yeah.
Mostly, we the bride or the groom, we don't have a say.
Yeah.
When it comes to our marriage, we don't really have a say. It's the families that decide. It's recently that we think that we've gone to school. So
Yeah.
I want it this way. You get
work
me?
like that.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like
doesn't work
that.
like
Even with that. So if you really want to do the party on Sunday, the crowd, even with a Saturday, you've witnessed events that we see over you've seen.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I think that's why they opt for the Saturdays. But with
Saturday.
me, it's not really good.
It's not. But
Yes.
are you impressed with the lifestyle now? Sooner are you in luxury as compared to the other one we knew back then? Do you think it's okay? Are you impressed with the kind of events they are doing now?
Okay, so I don't think that there's a problem with that. If you have your money it's your bride, you're falling in love,
Okay.
and you want, when you come to my firm, I tell you that there's life after the event. So think carefully. When you come
Okay.
to my firm and you want to take me to plan your event, I make you understand that there's life after the event. But if you think you have enough and you want to spend on, why not? There's nothing wrong with that. But don't copy blindly. You get me? If you want to do it like that and you have the money, there's nothing wrong with
Can
that.
a groom marry 3 brides
At the same time,
at the same time, same day with a plush event?
why not? If they
So
agree.
yes,
Yes, if they agree.
it doesn't go against the religion.
No, if they agree.
Wow.
You just have to, if this is the first wife,
Mhm.
you just have to, we have a way you go about it.
Okay.
And if she's okay with that, why not? You can do it.
Can add come on bill
There's nothing wrong with that.
shake you part in Noguda.
There's nothing wrong
Because
with
that
that.
way you won't waste money. That's why I asked that question.
Really?
Yeah, because when you do separate, you incur cost.
But at the end of the day, you've not even lived with one. And you are bringing, that's why you need time to study one before you add the other
How
one.
would you know? Some men are capable.
Oh, really?
Kisan, come on, Charlie. The men.
I do the finna suspecting ka.
Oh, yeah, then you call me, bo. I beg you.
I'm
I haven't
not
done anything.
suspecting ka.
But you call me back. But yeah,
Okay.
you spoke about the numbers.
Yes.
Very important point.
Yeah.
I've heard event people
Yeah.
complain when it comes to numbers, especially with Muslim weddings.
Yeah.
They tell them, oh, my guest is 300. And I have also noticed
Yeah.
a lot of people out there can attest to the fact that
Yeah.
300, but it turns out to be almost 700 to 800 wedding guests. Why is it like that?
Like I mentioned earlier, with our marriage, it's not about you and your wife. It's about the two families.
We
So
can't
it
even do
becomes
strictly
difficult.
strictly by invitation.
You can. That's why you need proper planning. But even with that, it becomes difficult. Very difficult.
Just say no go work safe.
It wouldn't work. So if you come to me and you tell me that you're doing 200, I would advise you. There was a scenario, I think you were part of that wedding. When we were planning, both couples were in the US.
Okay.
So when we were planning, they wanted to do only 300. I told them it's not possible. They told me it is possible. So when they came down, I realized that one auntie has sold gele for 500 people. Meanwhile, the invitation we did was for 300 guests.
Wow.
So there's no way you can sit down and plan your events without adding. So mostly I have a meeting with all of them and then we come to an agreement. Because if you don't involve them, you will see 500 people, 1,000 people at a wedding set up for 300 guests. So you need to bring all the stakeholders together
When
to
it
understand.
happens to you as a coordinator,
Yes.
how are you able to handle that huge number?
I always have extra chairs with Muslim wedding.
How about food?
Okay. So what I do is with the food,
Yeah.
sometimes aside from the caterers that we book them to work, some aunties would tell you that they would still want to bring food.
Yeah.
So with their food, I keep it. When the number is over, we add it to, some caterers would understand, someone. So I do another setup outside to feed the rest of the people.
Wow.
Yeah.
What don't you like about Muslim weddings?
I don't like the fact that sometimes they make the work difficult.
How do they make the work difficult?
But I don't blame them too.
Yeah.
Because the number is huge. And sometimes they don't have time to wait for this table to go for their food before that table. And the thing too is most of them, they are not really okay with the caterers cooking because some of them have this mindset that their food, some of them are not nice. Some of the caterers, they don't really enjoy the food. They prefer cooking from the house.
Wow.
One auntie will leave her husband, her kids, come and cook. Then when she's going back, she would have to take some of the food.
Something.
So that's why most of them have rubber in their bag. Yes.
Oh, support. That's not rubber. That's support system.
Oh, okay. So most of them have these rubbers in their bag. So the person comes, take the first food, pour it in the rubber, comes again. There's been an instance I caught somebody like that, and it became a problem.
But I think that's normal, Charlie.
No, because everybody has to eat before you go.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's difficult to get them to understand that. And it's sometimes worrying.
So that's one thing you don't like about Muslim
That's one
weddings.
thing. The fact that sometimes they make the work difficult, you tell
Difficult.
some of them to, and the fact that they give you a number and then it's over and all, it make coordination sometimes difficult. But aside from that,
I said,
I think
because
I'm
when you
okay.
ask me, I'll tell you Muslims events are very difficult. Me as a host,
Yeah.
they're very difficult. I've hosted events with you
Yes.
in the past where Charlie stress, the back and forth. But I love my people.
Yes.
Trust me, I love my people. They are good people. They have this sense of urgency and
Yeah.
humor and all that. But just like you said, sometimes, right? Sometimes King Gang, come on, Charlie, back here, control.
Yes.
Amana maka, oh, bossu. Zamanang, hey, you know me. It's
Yeah.
like, but Charlie, those are people. We love
Yeah.
you. Charlie, we love you. You
So
are
there are
people.
instances that maybe you've reserved a table for parents of the bride.
Yeah,
And the parents, we're talking about the key people.
yeah.
Let's say the groom has told you, these are the people that want. But some auntie B will come somewhere and go like, oh, Nina Bugaben Pampers. Nina Keshi school. You know, so I'm supposed to be on this table. Meanwhile, there's a specific number of guests or names they've given us to sit on that table.
Yeah.
And sometimes they make it difficult.
Key coordinator, my back here, key call me.
Yeah, sometimes that's another problem. But one thing that I also like about them is the love.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that they are willing to support, throw the
Charlie,
money,
Charlie.
as for that 100%.
Good. So I think we spoke about money, right? I think for me, where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
I feel splashing money at weddings. It's a Muslim tradition.
Yeah.
Right? Bookie.
Yeah, bookie.
We do at weddings and all that. But these days you find people doing it without knowing the reason or the motive behind. Why do we do bouquet at Muslim weddings?
It's to support the bride or the family. Because we show love through that.
Okay.
If a bride comes out and you don't do bouquet, then you haven't shown any love. Even if you are not throwing money, if the bride comes, you have to stand up. So you realize that most often we let the big people, we call names. Amreta Fto, Agoda Amata Soyeya. Kufto Kugoda Amata Soyeya. So that's where you show your love by throwing that money. Not that you're just throwing it, but you're just showing love. So that's our way of showing love.
Showing love. Because I noticed it's a big deal for you because we've done events where people go, MC,
and it helps. I'm proud to say that some of the bouquet even helped me when I got married. My bouquet really helped me sort out some things.
Wow.
So if you come to my place, I tell you to get a trusted person because we've even done a wedding through bouquet, we're able to raise over 200 million.
Wow.
Yes, that was a big wedding. It happened right here in Accra.
Wow.
Yes. So, like, it's a big deal, but you have to get somebody you trust to sit by the, to do the changing of the money and all of those things.
That's another thing, stress. So, event ongoing.
Yeah.
There's an itinerary for the event. Now, we're doing bouquet, which will take a longer time.
Yeah.
You have to take money. If it's 200 cedis, go to a table, change to smaller money, come and do bouquet. And then you, the planner, have drawn an itinerary from here to here.
Yeah.
And bouquet is ongoing.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure bouquet is done before we go on to the next itinerary.
Yeah.
Can we do something about it? Because honestly, Muslim weddings never closes.
I won't take that from you. It makes the event beautiful. That makes it different from other people. You see, you mentioned that other people are copying it now. That makes our wedding stand out. If you don't show it, fine, it's good to give envelope.
Yeah.
But throwing the money, seeing that, it's not good to step on money and everything. I even realized that some country is even having a problem with that.
Yeah, I think Nigeria also.
Okay, it's not good to step on money and everything, but it's also add up to the beauty of the whole thing. We're able to say, hey, Arenga Bukio, they've shown love, hey, Arenga, hey, we talk about, hey, Kyo, hey, Bagam couldn't buy, hey. It gives it that vibe, yeah.
But sometimes I feel people also mix Yoruba culture with the wedding to the Muslim wedding. Is the Yoruba culture associated with or has similarities with Muslim weddings?
Well, we marry ourselves. So maybe when it gets to that time, they have their way of doing it. So they will try, let's say, with the Hausa people, they do this henna party. So you see the Arewa setup and all of those things. And now we've copied it here in Ghana. Now every Muslim wedding, you see the Arewa setup. And it's nice. It adds up to the picture. Sometimes I wish I could add up my Arewa, my
So
time.
the area is what the setup in the room.
Yes,
That's
no, the
area.
setup they do, that tradition. You see the Korea, Korea calabash.
Yeah.
You see that mat, the mat that we play on.
Yeah, I think
we
there was a
pray
wedding
on.
quite recently that had, those
Yes,
specifics.
yes. So it makes it nice, but it's not something that we were used to. So every now and then we copy and make our events nice. You
Wow.
see, yes.
What can we do, right, to maybe throw more light on events in our, community, or maybe in the Muslim, environment? Because
Yeah,
I feel they understand event,
yeah,
they go all out, especially
yeah.
when it comes to fashion
Yeah,
and
hey, our
all that.
fashion sense number
Exactly. But
one.
I think the lapses. What do you think we can do to make it better? We need to make them understand that we've moved away from the everyday away on the park to maybe like a proper event settings. So when we tell them, oh, yankuri za mufara awurin yasa kowa ya zama mufara, they'll sit down.
Yeah.
We tell them, oh, yanzu za mu ci abinci, isa ana yin abinci na table by table, they will understand. What do you think we can do to throw more light on some of these things?
I think it will take time. It will take time because, like I said, because of how we understand marriage, the fact that we believe that marriage is not only the bride and the groom, it's family. You can't invite, maybe you have a particular people that when you invite, they will respect every rule.
Yeah.
But here lies the case, you can't take some people out. Because when you take some people, just a minute, I don't have money. You've taken me out. And just a minute, I didn't go to school. So it will end up giving a lot of problems. You have to invite everybody to the party. And those people, too, sometimes when they come, they don't understand the whole thing.
Yeah.
So until we get to understand that maybe we have to give the bride and the groom the opportunity to maybe plan their events the way they want to and understand them, it will be quite difficult.
Wow.
We will still be going back and forth like that. Yeah.
Do you think Muslim weddings should be given to event people who understand the Muslim culture or maybe religion more? Or you think anyone, so far as you're a professional, it can be given to you to work on?
Like I mentioned earlier, Muslim wedding is not what we do. So if you say Muslim wedding, if you pay the sadaki
That's
and you
it.
have, that is it.
Yeah.
This is culture, something that we've
The
been doing. You've
party,
copied. The party is not really. So I don't want to say Muslim wedding, but if you're looking at the way we do our aure, let's say, yes, the way we do our aure, we have people in every family that plan events. Even in my family, when today my sister is getting married, there's one auntie that we know that when money is being given to her, she would execute. So every family has. And so it's difficult for us to take that responsibility and give it to somebody. They have a problem that you're going to pay somebody to do something that Aja Memuna can do. It doesn't make sense. So that is the major challenge. So when we get to understand that, okay, now we need to organize a proper event. So we have to give the event to somebody to do, then we are good to go. But if not, then it will be the same thing.
But don't you think when it's been given to someone who is in the culture and understands it, it becomes more easier to deal with?
Yes, that's the truth. It becomes more easier. And I pray that we get there where you can give, because sometimes I feel like they don't even get to enjoy the events because you are cooking, you have to come to the event, you don't even get to enjoy it. But when you give it to somebody, you dress up, come and have fun with your friends, and then you're able to enjoy the event where you go. But Edo Jemfi, it's not easy. They have to give it to somebody to do that.
To do that for them.
Yes.
Somebody, would you say someone in the settings or culture, or someone who's a professional but can execute the job?
Our wedding is different from your wedding.
That's true.
And the way we want to do our things, if you are not part of them, you can't, even with us that we are part of them, sometimes it's difficult. Like you mentioned, you said the last time that you went to an event and the people couldn't even control. They have to leave. So we are able to stay there from beginning because we know them. So we are able to speak their language. When you speak to somebody in their language, they say you speak to their... Yes. So we are able to speak with them. I can go and explain to them. Okay, there was this big wedding I did, and we wanted to take exclusive. They didn't understand. They came to me, no, and I spoke to Ajia. They've paid a lot for the decor. And after this, everybody goes. These are the videos they will watch.
Yeah.
So if you don't give them the opportunity to take this video and pictures, Pastor Sam will up
Still about to
to
understand.
then later on, she was like, hey, come on, take it for the why not asking? What I'm saying
Okay,
makes
yeah, it
sense.
makes
And then
sense.
they excuse us to do it. But if you don't get people that speak to them to understand, you won't get what we want to get.
So I think moving on, not to maybe try to take food out of anyone's,
Yes,
table,
yeah.
but I think if it's a Muslim wedding that you out there being a professional, you can execute. You still need someone within that settings who can help, and
Yes.
then for you to get a smooth event. Well, that's not bad. I want us to talk about catering.
Yeah.
Charlie, did you people will say, oh, 300 people, and then you get almost 1,000 people.
Yeah.
How are you able to cater for them? Or is it that when these people come, they are not solely coming because of the food, but they are coming to show love?
Well, some of them, we have groups.
Yeah.
We started this sister groups. So every community have this sister group.
Okay.
So with this sister group, mostly when they know that it's a reception, they try to provide for the food and the drinks.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, the coordinator, to make sure that whatever they bring, you help them distribute it accordingly.
Yeah.
There's no event that 1,000 people will come and they wouldn't get food. Because anybody that invites you, let's say Auntie Mimuna invites her group of people, she'll make sure she has food for them and drinks for them.
Wow.
That's one I can attest to that.
And then don't you think, or also think, we are in deficit when it comes to event centers in our communities, Zongo communities? Because honestly, some years back, it was on the Bear Park.
Yeah.
And then Wembley came.
Yes.
And then I think in Kasajan.
Yes.
I know in Kasajan.
Yeah.
Aside that, I'm not too sure if I know other event space around, some of us, not only in Accra,
Yeah.
maybe in Kumasi, in Aswase, and some of these places. Do you think we need Muslim investors to invest in this event?
A lot of them are interested. After planning their events for them, they come like, I think they have the when you. I think so. Most of them, I think, we even have one Skybox. She's a Muslim.
Skybox, yeah.
Yes, so I think now they are interested. They are seeing how the business is going, and they know that most of us now accept reception. So now they are investing in it. Aside from her, there are lots Times Square. She was a Muslim.
Okay.
Yes. So they
Okay.
are there. There are lots of them are there.
There are lots of people.
Yeah.
And you think they'll be interested.
Yeah.
What's that one wedding you coordinated that you felt like, Charlie, this was solid, this was smooth, no problem?
I think this wedding that took place at you were the MC.
Was it the one
the
at
quiz.
Underbridge?
Yes, the quiz.
Oh yeah.
Remember,
Charlie, they didn't give me problem.
they didn't
at
give
all.
they didn't give us problem. I don't know if maybe because the quiz, he's a guy that too bad to be a Muslim.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think that wedding was smooth. They understood everything. We started on time. We ended
yeah.
on time, and it was very, very beautiful.
And which event would you say, Charlie? This one, I hope I don't meet this event again.
Okay, so these people came to me. They came to my office and told me that they have this big wedding. So I asked them what they've done so far, and they were like, the bride wants to buy her decor stuff. And I was like, hey, I haven't heard this before. You want to buy your flowers for your wedding and everything? Well, this would be interesting. So I was looking forward to it. So they booked somebody who is going to put all the things together. So
Okay.
hers was to rent the table and chairs and everything. 2 days to the event, I went to the house to see, and I saw some kakapulpui flowers. And I was like, is this the flowers we're going to use? They said yes. So I was like, okay, no problem. I asked them about the catering service. They said, oh, they'll cook from the house.
Ajia Memuna will cook.
So I was like, this is getting interesting. Okay, why not get waiting service? Let's take like this number. They said, no. We can't pay for that number. Some of our cousins will help.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's see how it will go. So sometimes the way they are, you just have to.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. And then I asked about backdrop and all of those things. And it looked like the person they brought, she was not even paid for all of those things. So at the same, I had to even arrange for somebody to do all of those things. And I'm talking about somebody who is coming from the States. So on the D-Day, it was supposed to be a 300 guests.
Okay.
And it was over 800 guests.
Yes, I'm not surprised though.
Yes. And the setup, I told them to do 2 food area. They did 1.
Mm-hmm.
So at the food area, the line wasn't moving. As a coordinator, you have to be there and then help. If you tell people to sit down, they don't want to listen.
Hmm.
At a point, I was trying to tell one man to sit down before I realized he was just
The man held you.
yes. Don't miss that keep in terms of
Ki-
making
kiwa,
a song
ni, ni.
kiwa ne. When you are when I go zoya. Before I realized Pepe in my eye.
Oh,
Yes. I couldn't see for like it was that bad. It was bad.
you don't say.
Yes. How the pepper flew from the table into my, I don't even know. Because everybody was all over to get the food. And so I had to leave because it
So you
was
left the event.
because it was serious. It was that
But
bad.
as a professional, you should have go wash your face and come back and work.
I'm talking about red pepper. It didn't feel not black. There's a difference between black pepper and red pepper. Red pepper, a co and shishi.
Wow.
Yes. And my sister, I do, I have my own
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
She had to take, even with her, it was still not easy. People were fighting here and there. Everything wasn't like, at that wedding, I don't want to even remember. It's not part of my archives.
I wouldn't want to restrict this to
And it was because it was in a park.
wedding
I think
only.
because it was in a park.
It wasn't. Honestly, I wouldn't want to restrict this to Muslim weddings.
Yeah.
I have had Christian weddings where there've been physical altercations.
Yes.
Right. So it's not the background. I'm not sure that it's just the personal training and
Yeah.
discipline some of these people bring on board. But if you get your own, let me say if I give you that nod, right, to change something when it comes to the Muslim, plush weddings, the party side, what would you change?
I think that we should cut our coats according to our size. Some of our people are overdoing stuff and it's affecting other people. So maybe everybody has to wear that gold chain. Some people don't even have, but it's like a competition.
Wow.
Some people have to wear particular gele. They're giving other people pressure. And it's not good. Even though you're not supposed to copy people.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like some people are doing too much. As well, there's some of our women, they're just doing too much.
Wow.
Trying to wear all those big chain to show off. Meanwhile, you've not paid your children's school fees and all of that. It's sad. It's sad. You can see that this person is from a poor home, but she's wearing a big chain. Meanwhile, you've not paid your children's school fees. Who are you impressing? And they do that a lot.
It's everywhere.
They do that
It's
a lot.
everywhere. I think it
And
cuts across.
that's saddens my heart every time when I'm organizing a Muslim wedding. I see that some people I know them, I see them coming. They are showing off you buy lace, heavy lace over. The laces are very expensive, 1,000 Ghana cedis, 2,000 Ghana, some even 5,000 Ghana cedis just for a program.
Wow.
Meanwhile, you have a lot of
Charlie,
bills.
it's wedding. It happens once in a
I
lifetime.
know.
So they want to,
I
go all
know,
out.
but you have bills. You need to settle your
The bill
bills.
after this bills should wait. Let's enjoy.
Well,
let's enjoy.
But
bills.
that's one thing I would really want to advocate for. We shouldn't impress people.
Okay.
Me, I don't. If somebody's wearing their big, we call it dam.
Mm-hmm.
We call it dam.
Yeah.
And so even if the bride doesn't have money, they have to get that money to wear dam for her. Some people steal. Some people even go and borrow. I mean, who are you impressing?
Wow.
Yes.
Well, in maybe putting all things together, do you think the way things are going, if we're not careful, we might lose our cultural background as maybe religious people?
Yeah, because we are copying.
Yeah.
Every time we want to add up.
Mhm.
And so we end up taking some things out and adding some. So maybe at a point in time, it might, but when I'm coordinating events, I make sure I add some elements so that we know that there's a Muslim wedding. You know that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
true.
add the bookie part.
Yeah.
I give some of the family members opportunity to talk. I make sure that we are still maintaining. Sometimes I even help the bride in choosing a costume. You have to cover
Yeah.
up and all of those things. So
But I think someone would want to know this. Why do brides do lily and all those other shenanigans when
it's
it's
add on to the beauty.
Oh,
It's not a ram. It's
mm,
just a design to just add out to when you all dress up
mhm.
and the bride has lily, she stands out.
Oh, okay.
You see, and it's just beautiful. I remember when I was getting married and they did my lily for
Mhm.
me, I felt like I was a bride. I don't know, for some reason,
Oh, okay.
when they did that design for me, and like, I felt like, no, I'm getting married. So it gives you that feeling. I don't know, for me,
Yeah.
it gives you that feeling that yes.
Well, that's your camera. I
Okay.
want you to look into the camera and talk to potential Muslim brides or
Yeah.
maybe grooms
Yeah.
who are thinking of putting their wedding together. What would you want to tell them?
So I think that if you want to have a party, try to get a planner because it's very important. If you really want to get that event that will cater for everybody, get a planner to help you through so that you can have that beautiful wedding, dream wedding you've been dreaming of. That's what I have to say. Yeah.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for that professional, that one go-to person, especially when it comes to the Muslim background, look no further. Go straight to FNF on all social media platforms. If you know anyone who's getting married, a Muslim bride to be, kindly contact FNF. Before we sign out, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you some trivial questions, right? So I'll give you two options and
Eh,
then you choose one.
Okay.
Great, simple. Okay.
God help
So,
me.
so the first one is going to be right.
Mhm.
Nima or Mamobi,
Mamobi.
Sokora or Chinkafa,
Sokora.
John Mahama or Mahmoud Baumia.
Hey. No comment.
I think I'm going to ask this again for the second time. John Mahama or Mahmoud Baumia.
No comment.
Would you want a Muslim president or anyone who's good to take the mantle of leadership in Ghana?
Oh my God. No comment.
No, I'm serious. Like, yeah, it's very
No
important. For the first
comment.
time, it's likely we might have a
No
Muslim president.
comment.
Is it something you would say you are okay with or you don't mind
Eduka
at
ju
all?
sọ̀rọ̀ Allah. No Allah.
This is going to be my last
Thank you.
question, and then we wrap up. I know it's going to be somehow cheesy, but kindly bear with me, right?
Mhm.
Would you want a Muslim candidate to take the mantle of leadership, or you don't mind, like anyone at all can do that for us?
Intakullah. Kaju sọ̀rọ̀ Allah. No comment.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, my sister is shying away, and what she's trying to tell me is that, Charlie, I for fear God. This I for fear God. Why they think the matter go? If it's you, so on a lighter note, we don't mind, Charlie. Any good person who can take the
Yeah.
mantle of leadership and then make our saffron go down will be a better candidate for us. But even before I sign out, there's one thing I want to say. My sister reiterated that particular point. Cut your coat according to your size. You don't have anyone to impress. You don't owe anyone an explanation when it comes to your big day or your wedding. If you want to do it right in your own way. And a big shout out to all our Muslim communities right here in Ghana. And the biggest slam you ever find in this whole world, it be the Zongos, right? From Kumasi, Abu Aswasi, Nimo, Mamobi, Medina, Fadama. A big shout out to the National Chief Imam, Charlie. Until I come your way next time, it's been the Wedding Podcast with my sister, Faiza from
Wow.
FNF.
Yeah.
Peace out, be safe, and be blessed.